Hello, this is just to give you some overview and instruction on how to build your particular MFTIP. And what we're going to be doing is just talking about the different elements that are required. And so we're going to start off with, to get to the actual, all this information, you need to go to D2L, go under Your Resources, and then go to Manage Forest Tax Incentive Plan Resources, and you'll see all these listed. And this is a variety of types of files I will go through. The first thing is the landowner information and goals for the property, and we want to talk about that. There is, you need to read those to see where is the person going with this property. Jill Ganaraska is her name. So to figure out what do you have to actually fill out, you need to open up and look at this particular document, and it's called the Stewardship Planning for Natural Areas. It has excellent instructions in it, so make sure you use this because the document will refer to these sections. Where will you fill out your actual MFTIP? Here, pull out forms, and you will click on this, and these are the forms that you find in the middle of this book, but they're electronic here in a PDF format that you can fill out. You will need these forms to fill out sections 1, section 2, section 3, section 5, and section 9 out of the 11 sections in total that we're going to ask you to complete. So that's your first task, is to proceed and get this open, and everyone in the team can do parts of it. And then once you've completed and filled out all the information as specified in this document, then go ahead and print out the sections so eventually you can, for submission. I'll talk about that at the end. Now, one of the things you're going to need to understand is how is a MFTIP made in Ontario, what are the rules, and for example, how big of an area can you have, how much of a deduction do you claim for when you have a house on there. What about open areas that don't grow trees like rocks and beaver ponds? You need to know this, especially for the test. Okay? So that's your MFTIP guide, the rules, and this is the stewardship guide you need. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the next. Now, in the plan, what you need to do is you need to complete sections 7 and 8. Now section 7, you need to click on this item, and when you do, what you'll be doing is opening an Excel sheet. You will complete section 7 for each stand. So if we looked at it, so here's your particular woodlot. And let's say this is the stands. Let's say this is stand A, stand B, stand C, stand D. So this is what Jill Ganaraska owns, and her woodlot is these 4 stands. You may have 5, but you need to create a section 7 for each one of these stands. So in this example, you would have 4 different section 7s, and where will you get this information from? You will get it, a lot of it, from the cruise information, cruise data you had, and the other part of the information, which is the objectives, come from the landowner's desires and goals. Okay, and these section 7 goals must match up with section 5. So make sure your section 7 equals section 5 for the property in regards to the goals. Alright? And then the next thing you need to do is you need to do a section 8, and you do only one section 8, which summarizes all the information you found for your section 7s. And what it does, section 8 gives you a summary of the action steps that's going to be performed over the next 10 years on the property. So you'll have a long-term objective, which could be, for example, maintain quality wildlife habitat. That's your long-term goal over the next 20 years. And your 10-year goal is to create 3 to 4 brush piles in the forest for small game and birds each year. That would be your short-term activity to encourage wildlife habitat. Alright, so that's important. So remember, and then you would print out all your Section 7s and Section 8 to build your plan. The next thing you need to do is you need to build maps. And you need to build maps for Section 4. This map shows you where the property is, like Boundary Road, show the 35-115, where this property exists, and what are the basic features. For example, streams, trails, and home. You will indicate that on this section, Section 4. Now, so then once you've completed it, so the way you do it is you build it in PowerPoint, use your map well, build it in PowerPoint, and then drop it into this Word document. And once you've got legend and scale and north arrow and all that stuff, you print that off, and that'll be your Section 4 that you will add to the plan. Section 6, what it is much like Section 4, but except now you're going to show the all the different stands and focus on naming all the stands in there. Don't forget to complete for each Section 4 and Section 6 the property owner's name and the roll number for each one of these. Okay? Now, one of the things you notice up here is make a heritage map. Why did I put that in there? It's because you need to find out the assessment parcel. You need to find out the township concession and lot number. And the best way to do that is go to this site, locate the property, and remember the property is roughly where the 35 and the 115 meet, right? So if the 35 highway comes here, and there's the 115, and here's Boundary Road, your woodlot is somewhere over there, okay? So that's why you use that. And if you want to make it really fancy, you can use the air photo as a background for your other maps. All right. Now, Section 11 is what is Section 11? Section 11 is your stand stock tables, and you're going to make stand stock tables, okay? And you're doing them exactly the way you have to do for the Excel test, and you need 3 of them, and you need them for the 3 largest stands that are out there. So you're going to show and when you click on this particular item, you will see the example that we want you to follow. The final thing is, everyone likes examples and references. Well, this is a PDF file of some past MFTIPs I've done. It's an assembly of different ones. We'd like you to use that and the hints as a reference. Look at this. This is strongly recommended you look at it. Otherwise, you can really go down the wrong path and not do very well. Okay? And this is will correlate. Also, anything to testing this provides a good resource. So please take the time to look at it. Now, just so as a recap, what do you need to hand in? You're going to provide, let me try that again. You're going to provide a title page, and then you're going to provide Section 1, which is the overview. Section 2, discussing the surrounding area and issues. Section 3 also talks about the property. And those are all the ones from the pullout. Section 4 is the map. You need to put it in, right? The Word document. Section 5 is all the objectives for the property, the long-term wishes from the landowner. Section 6 is the detailed map. Okay. Section 7 is going to be whatever number of stands you have. So if you have, so that could be A, B, and so on, right? So let's say you have 4 different stands. You would have 4 different Section 7s. with their objectives and all the calculations done carefully and correct. And we'll be really looking at these to see, did you fill them out correct. Section 8 is a summary of all your Section 7s and the goals. Section 9 is the easiest one. It's a blank sheet which the landowner fills out over the next 10 years. So you just print it out. Section 10 is contact information for the landowner, so your consulting company, your Ontario Woodlot Association websites, links and all that stuff. And Section 11 is those 3 stand stock tables that you're going to create, which has just been pointed out here. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. All of this information you'll put in a photocopier, because it'll all be one-sided, and in the photocopier, set it up so that it'll create a PDF file and send that PDF file into the Dropbox under Challenge 5. Alright, so please use your resources, take the time, and then make sure you keep a copy of this, because this is an excellent thing to show and demonstrate in any portfolio. Thank you.